Welcome back to Factorio version 16, the Hyperbase. This is going to be a massive base. So I have reorganized some of these in the way that I kind of need them. This one here, I generally like, if they're going off to the left hand side, they come from this set of 4, and if they're going to the right side they come from this set of 4, unless we need 2 lanes. We do need 2 lanes here, and this one should be the one providing that lane. So what I'm going to do is, for starters, we will rip out a section there, slap that down, and get rid of that. Whoops. Do that. So, whoops. That takes care of this requirement here. Now, I think that is probably not exactly where I want it. We're still trying to get blue science in. If I hadn't explained that clearly at the beginning of this episode, we're trying to push for blue science. We should be able to get there this session. I'm pretty confident of that. That's not far enough in. It should be there. That should be there. Ah, yeah, that's right. So we actually need to move this down from the looks of things. That would make some sense. I might just do that and then kind of recast it at that point, which I think was about there from memory. And we need 2 lines here of iron, so let's see what we can do. Oh, we are out. Maybe I should just make some with all of this extra all of this iron that we've just picked up, instead of going over to the make everything. And the whole point of that was specifically so that we could draw some from here. For our second line. So ideally what we would like is, well, there you go, there's that coming through. Actually, maybe what I'll do is, just to see how this is working, I will put the power on. And down here as well, clearly. Actually, this is looking a little bit challenging. To Yes, I think I can do that. What is your problem? You're not picking up these things for some reason. Not sure what's going on there. And this one's not picking up for some reason either. Oh, we have... Oh, I see. We can't empty them out. So, yes. That's exactly what it should have been doing, and I was just being dumb. Okay. So, that puts these guys on one side of the belt. We could probably usefully put red circuits on the other side of that belt. In fact, I don't know why I keep leaving a gap there. There is nothing there anymore at this point, but I'd keep forgetting, so there you go. I've just forgotten again. Let us bring the red circuits down to there. I think whoops, let's put that back there, and that to there. No, that's not what we wanted to do. What I wanted to do was this, and then so that we get red circuits on only one side of the belt. How many red circuits did I pick up then? That's rather a lot. I guess we can just lay them back down and process them through this way. There we go. Now, that's two of the products. I guess now we're going to need some more blue assembly machines. 24 in fact to get to a second. If we look at the formula, 12 is 1 per second. It takes 12 seconds each, so we need 24 to get to a second, which might seem like a lot. I might even expand that, let it fill too. Will it take from here in priority, or will it take from there? Looks like it takes from both. Oh well, that's fine. It will get rid of them eventually. We still have one actually. It will get rid of them eventually. We'll just have to wait. So, what we want now is for engines to come up on this line. And I need some more of all these things. How many is that? 200. That's quite a few. So is that. We won't. Well, we'll take what we can. Need to clear out some of that stuff. So engines should be coming up here. Like so. And now we can go. Actually, we don't really get them until. Say there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess what this lets us do is have blue coming up here. And we're going to need another 12. What I might do is actually, is it even possible? No, I think we need to change this to red belt as soon as possible. To make the most of the blue science, and obviously we're adding 2 more sciences here, so another belt. We should probably start looking at extending the length of this science network as well, but before we do, let's just get the formula that we need in here. And oops. Now the idea with these is that they're going to actually go around the corner and there's going to be another 12 down here. Like so. So down like so, and the other side. And yeah, most of this probably needs to be raised up to, we need some more thingies. Needs to be red belt possibly for this to actually work properly or at the full capacity, but we can worry about that after we have achieved some more science targets. While I'm here, let's grab some more of this. So yes, definitely science targets will be on our list, and Going all the way around to there with this may not have been so clever given our limited amount of red, but I guess what we can do is I can always force the plastic train to come with its partial load that won't fill until we relieve pressure. Pressure where the pressure's at. And the whole point of what I'm doing here, of course, is to ensure that blue only ends up on one side, because we are going to add military to the blue track in due course. We need power. Let's get all the inputs sorted first. And then if I do something like this, I still need to do the back. There, so now we have blue science. The thing we need to do to relieve pressure on our oil is, of course, advanced oil processing. So let's start researching that as soon as this gets up there. In fact, we're not even going to wait for the blue science to go round. We are going to make a runner for oil. I need to get rid of these things. That seems to do the trick. I also need to get rid of this iron. That also seems to have done the trick. Yeah, so we need to go to the oil, but first of all we need to pick up a few things. We are going to need some chemical plants, probably more than we have on us at the moment. Actually 19's not too bad. We're going to want some water fill. We are going to want some offshore pumps. Do I have any of those on me at the moment? Yes, I do have 19. It's probably not quite enough. Let's grab those. I'm not going to need the pump jacks just at the moment. Right, fine. Pump jacks, open up. I might get another 10 chem plants though while we're here. What else? Basically I think what we need to do is grab some water fill, head up there and set up you can go manual. Set up what we need to set up. Looks like the two trains are over there. Just be aware of them so we don't get collected on our way round. Looks like we've almost finished advanced oil processing almost before we started. Obviously not both of the trains were in after all. With a bit of luck we did have enough for the full 75, otherwise we might be a little bit concerned. It is looking pretty good to get to the end. And we do have the plastic train that comes along here. So I guess we have to be wary of that. Oh, except the plastic train can't come here. because I forgot that we hadn't actually finished all of this. Excellent. And the next thing that we want is probably bot speed, so that they can be a little bit more useful than they have been. Let's head down the plastic trains path as the best way of getting close to our water fill. I'm not quite sure how much water fill we're going to need, but we are going to need some because there's no water over there. Maybe if I grab a couple of hundred and give that one back, like a couple of sets of 200. Good plastic train, you just wait there. I can't imagine that's full. What is your load until full inventory? That's not full inventory. How can you say that is full inventory? Strange. Alright, never mind. And now we will head to the... whoops. Oh, not up to there, you silly thing. I wonder you couldn't find plastic load. Wait for the silly bot, otherwise we'll spend forever waiting for it at some future point in time. At least we'll get some increased bot speed very shortly. Right, now let's go. Go, go, go. We have all 50, that's good. Hopefully they won't all take off and try and fix something. By the time we actually get to the oil area, we will have worker robot speed 1. There you go, we have it now. Let me hit the manual button so that we don't go up here. I really should create a quick and dirty actual pack station. It save me time in the long run. Let's get another tech happening. Do we have worker robot? We do. Let's do that. That'll be the most useful, I suspect. So first things first, we want to change the recipe on all of these to the advanced oil, and we did get this correct, so that's excellent. We can shrink this guy down to about that size. Don't stand in the puddle. There. Because it will kill you. Now I don't consider this cheaty when you don't have biters, because it's only really when you have biters that you're doing, or you could potentially do something that's cheaty, because you obviously could create a moat or something. So if you have biters, you really should use a different mod called Canal Builder, because that will then let the biters walk on the water that you create, whereas this one of course doesn't allow you to do that. But what this does do for me is save me an awful lot of time with oil builds in terms of placement. So yeah, I will be using it. If we do nuclear, I'll be using it. To extend our power, I am likely to be using it. Oh, I should really change all of these formulas as I run along, or should have changed them all. Probably should have built a path along here to save myself some time running up here, but it's alright. So this will mean that the lube is now able to drain off the heavy, except we've already filled the lube tank, so we kind of got to this too late. But once we manage to alleviate pressure, we should be good. And now that we have cracking for both light and heavy, we can just, we can just start cracking some of that heavy and not have an issue. Although I think I'm going to find I don't actually have enough of these pumps. To do all that we want to do. There. Shouldn't be that hard to find. It's in exactly the same place every time. And I did go through one stack of them, so that shrank the number of items in my inventory, but still should have been relatively easy to find. There it is again. Okay, so that's actually given us a new lease of life and allowed some of these things to burn slightly, but only slightly. And I did not bring any pumps, did I? But I can make some. Awesome. I'm going to need all of those. We might have to rearrange those pipes as well. So the idea is we'll put a pump in here, and we will, I've got rid of all my copper cable. That's just not so clever. Alright, never mind. I know I need to pump these out. To start off with, these guys are going to be heavy cracking to light, and that's probably not going to work particularly well. I keep forgetting that be nice if you could kind of alternate where the water and the petrochemical ingredient go, but you cannot, so no point worrying about it. Oh, right. So, these are not going to work especially well unless I first of all remove those two. Then I can create that and add that. And then I'm going to need landfill, which I do not have because I didn't think this thing through very well. But that's what we need to do, and I don't think I have enough stone to keep doing this, so that was really quite silly of me. And I am going to run out of those, but at least that should do a tiny bit. So I think this one was going to be the cracking. I haven't worked out how much we actually need. It takes 30 light, and we now have a formula that produces 45 every 5 seconds. Let's do some quick calculations. So 45 times, let's turn it into minutes, so that's 12, since there's 12 lots of 5 in a minute, multiplied by 25, since we have 25 machines. Hang on, let's do that again. 45 times 12 times 25, so that's 13,500 a minute. Okay, we are going to get some more from the cracking of the heavy. If we cracked all of the heavy to light, well, let's start with the 13,500 before we confuse ourselves. So 13,500, this one uses 30 light every 3 seconds. So if we divide by 30, divide by 20, that should tell us how many machines we need, and it's 22.5. So if we put 23 machines here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and that's why we didn't move the rail any further than that. That is just the raw light created by this stuff. And now, how much heavy does that actually, or how much does the heavy turn into light? Okay, let's start with how much this produces. This produces 10 every 5 seconds, so that's 120 a minute. 120 a minute times the fact that there's 25, that's 3,000 heavy. The 3,000 heavy is then cracked, and I believe we only need 3 machines, but we've got 4 anyway. So we've got 40 heavy every 3 seconds. So if we divide by 40 and divide by 20, that's how much per minute. It's actually 3.75, so we do actually need the 4 machines. And it will produce 30 light, so that's 30 light every 3 seconds, so times 30 times 20 produces 2,250 light per minute. If we go back to the light machine, 2250 light per minute, divide by 30, divide by 20, and we need another 3.75. So that was 22, it would be 25, 26 machines, or 26 and a little bit. So I guess another 4 machines, and that will mean that we can turn everything into petroleum if we so desire. And that's kind of the idea at this point, although I want some circuitry so that we always have lots of lube on hand. Now, how much water do these things actually use? They use 30 water, so it's basically 10 water a second, and we have 27 of them. We could actually probably do this with just a single pump. why can't I? If you put modules and beacons in these things, they can, especially, I mean, they can this pump can pump 1200 per second. So 27 of these, we're doing 270 water per second. But if you sped this up 11 times, you can see how that would easily overcome a single pump. You could even have like half of these and you'd still overcome that single pump, so you do need to be a little bit careful. Now the other thing is with we actually have too much petroleum for one pipe to handle now that we're using this formula. So I need to divert some of the petroleum to a second pipe if we want to get the benefit of it, which of course we do. Should really use the robots to do this. I suppose I don't consider these starter measures important enough to worry about the robots, but I probably should. So we actually ran out of pipes there. You can see we already have a stronger flow of petroleum though, because we are now getting a certain amount of light coming through here, which is letting a bit more flow. We need to get this petroleum in, and what I'm thinking is it will probably go down the back. I need to move where that is. It's not going to work there for me. Let's put it there. We probably need another petroleum pipe that sort of feeds in to the back. And in truth, we probably need some of the petroleum from up here to come and join that pipe rather than head this way. And tech is finished. What do we want to do now? Do we want to start? Well, we already have a personal roboport. Get the level of power armor we've got. Inserter capacity bonus. Stack inserter capacity. They're always useful. Let's go and get some more pipes. We are going to need to put this online fairly soon. Our newfangled release of pressure has not been enough to get us to where we need to go. Let's head here, grab some more pipes, grab some more, well, maybe create some landfill. I think we can get away with just some more pipes actually, can't we? Isn't that what we worked out? possible we have run out of red circuits, or oh no, more are being created. These labs can definitely be stretched. The research now is 30-second research. Some of the earlier stuff was a lot less, so 30-second research means that it takes 3 seconds for these labs to process it. So we could easily have 30 labs, 30 or 40 or 60 even. So I should certainly look to stretch the number of labs so we start doing things a little bit faster. I'm not actually building labs. I probably should have been. What do labs take? It's quite a bit of stuff actually, isn't it? Well, we won't get sidetracked just yet. We'll grab our pipes. Oh yeah, we're trying to do that. I don't think I'll bother with that. I will just do what I did up here, because that will be fine. Which means I just need, well, I could probably leave that one and just put another one in with some landfill. Do I have... No, let's get some offshore pumps anyway. I only take one slot. If we take one stack, I did have enough of these, so I don't need any more. I did need some copper so that I could make some circuitry. I think I need a bit of that as well, don't I? 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright, let's head back. To plastic load. Oh, no drink to have. Never mind. So I mean, I'm not that worried about pushing the science because we have such a large base, well, the base is spread over such a large area that we can't actually deploy the things as fast as we can research them. If we had a more expensive tech cost, then maybe, but I've deliberately refrained from doing that so that I can get full advantage of the infinite research once we start doing that. Just as soon as we get past there, I'll take manual control and we can come to a rest just up here. Now, let's get the rest of this done. Water. I think that's where I want that. And there we go, that's got its own little supply, but they don't all need it. But this needs to continue to the top. Maybe I could just go like I might just do the last one manually there. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. We don't need it now. Well, I could have had this one tile closer. Why don't we do that? Make it look like the water was always there. We didn't just create a minimalist hole. So there we have it. Now, 25, let's just do this calculation. 25 times 55, 55 times 25 divided by 5 is 275, so actually it might be okay. 275 is the volume that's going in here, so these are fine. They should all be able to fire up without any problem. Looks like that's the case. So that's 275, so it might just be in the module situation that I need to worry about that. So how much extra are we getting here? We are getting 27, 27 times 20 divided by 3, we're getting 180. Yeah, we are actually fine for this just to join. But just because we're fine now doesn't mean we are if we put beacons around this stuff. Mind you, by the time I actually have beacons and modules in any sort of quantity, there's a pretty good chance that I will have moved past this belt base. Now, another research available. Q would be kind of useful about now, just so that we crunch through them. But never mind. C'est la vie. So these things should all be kicking into action. Why are they not? $100, huh? That's because that one does not feed into this one. That is a lot better. Now, at about this point, and if we can do that roughly at the same spot. No, I've put that in a different spot. Okay. It's still in the wrong spot because that. Oh no, that's not what it does. Let's put that back. We use an underground to get past there, and then we use one of them. If we ever get petroleum up to the top. which means that has to move up. Seem to have been able to fit it there without a problem for some reason. Interesting. Probably just as well we have a balancer here. Don't know, this one and the N one seem very strong and the two in the middle do not. Maybe they need pumps just to make sure they all can work effectively. Anyway, let's get another tech happening. Bot cargo carrying capacity will be useful at some point. So that is the oil rejuvenated, that is blue science. I think what I'd like to do now is just extend the science in a meaningful way. Can we get back to there? Yes, we can. So we're going to add a bunch of additional labs, at least triple what we've got, so that these start getting knocked through quite a lot faster. Looking at the tech, there are a reasonable number of blue, but then we're going to need the military, so I guess the next step we're going to take is to add military science. We should have the production throughput now to be able to handle that. We quite probably will need to put in line further. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. This needs some more miners. We don't have them on us, do we? We've got 19. That's not really enough. So that's the other thing, to push the iron plate creation a little bit harder. But we will do military science next. Let me just see if I can... Maybe I'll set up at the end of the bus something to make labs, because we are going to need labs sooner or later. Lots of labs even. So if you are making labs, what do you need? You need these, you should be slightly closer to there then. You're making labs, so you need... Why did I put that on it when I meant labs? So green circuit, transport belt, and iron gear wheel. I guess I could make some transport belt for you just here. Transport belt. Let's just put you into a box. What a lab stack to? 5 or 10 or something. Let's put some power in and find out. This is obviously going to need resources from all around. So yeah, How many labs have we got? We've got 3. It is building them fairly quickly. Let's just see. I think it's like 5 from memory. No. Maybe it's 10. Yeah, it's 10. Okay, so if I take 10, that'll give me another 40, so we'll get about 60. That should be a fairly good number of labs to have with 2 science a second to start with. So we'll continue this by taking a blueprint. Of that. God damn, I had that perfectly. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Really curse. There we go. Come on, bots, hurry up. What are you missing? If anything, you're missing yellow inserters because I'm not really using them anymore. I suppose I could go and get some yellow inserters. As the final act of this episode, it's not like they should be an issue. So what I'm likely to do is have another row along here. And then do a pass through behind, so another 10, so we'll get 30 down and then a second row to make it 60, maybe even go to 80. Not that we probably really absolutely need it. What's missing? Something is missing. We may as well move on to a next research. That would be kind of useful. I could have used substations before. What are we missing? Maybe I am we're short one red inserter. Can I make one? Yes, good. There we go. So that'll do us for this episode. We're making decent progress. Military science next. Military science will get added on to, it will basically come up here and go through and just pop into there. So it feeds in on the inside of that line. But that's all for this episode. So see you next time, guys. Bye bye for now.